Hey, good evening, friends. We are live. It is day 39 of 100 days straight of live streaming. We've got all destinations, all channels going tonight: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube. So yeah, we had said earlier in the week we were going to go exclusively on YouTube, and we did that for a number of days. Just thought today would be good to go on all of our channels, pages, groups, Twitter profile, Twitch, YouTube, and wanted to cover something tonight that I thought was very helpful, or has been very helpful for me. We're going to highlight a book, and we'll get to that in just a minute, but I want to do what I've done every night, which is first of all to say good evening if you're watching this live. It's 8:15 on a Saturday night here in Texas, but wherever you're at, thanks for being with us. Thanks for joining. Let me know where you're watching from, where you're listening from, what you're up to. Just show us some love here. We would appreciate that. But also, we would appreciate you going on over to YouTube and subscribing there, and turning on notifications so you'll know when we do go exclusively on YouTube. You'll know and you won't miss it. So as I said, we're day 39 out of 100, almost to 40. It'll be 40 on Sunday. But as I've done every night, I first want to say, go create a YouTube channel if you don't have one. If you do have one and you're not very active on it, find a way to have some kind of consistency, whether that for you is once a week, once every other week, once a month. Doesn't really matter. Just something. Something is better than nothing. And I firmly believe, or I wouldn't have said it now for 39 nights straight, and it will be 100 before I'm done with it, that you'll be better off for it. This YouTube channel, if you create one, will be an asset for you, regardless of what you do, regardless of what your profession is, whether you are retired, whether you're just getting started out in a career, whether you're an entrepreneur, doctor, lawyer, plumber, artist, musician. It really doesn't matter. And speaking of music, I do want to let everybody know we're using Soundstripe tonight as our background music. Soundstripe is a copyright-free, or royalty-free, I should say, music service that we use. We really like it. It's easy to use, and they have a lot of good options. This artist is Brasco. Tend to use this playlist from Brasco, and just like it. So, second thing that we encourage everybody every night is start to build, use, manage an email list. I use ConvertKit. There's a free account you can go get, strammel.info/ConvertKit. I'm not going to talk about that at length tonight, but I will say that you want to start using email if you're not, so that you're not dependent solely on social media to get your message out there. So what we're going to talk about tonight, now that I've got that out of the way, and we're going to try to do this in under 30 minutes, I'm going to talk about a book titled Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuck. You may or may not have heard of him. I had not heard of Gary Vaynerchuck about 2 years ago. Maybe was the first time I heard about him. Started consuming his content, watching his videos, reading and listening to some of his books. And one of the best ones I think that he has published is the book jab, 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 right hook. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I'm going to go and let's pull up the cover just for a minute so that you can see it. And it's a New York Times bestseller, and basically Gary uses the jab, 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 right hook, of course, boxing, as a metaphor, which it's a metaphor for give, 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 and then ask. And so we're going to get into that a little bit. I think it's a genius way of looking at it. Do want to read one quote from the book. And it's got, gold all the way through it as far as I'm concerned. But it's here, I'm going to read the quote. No matter who you are or what kind of company or organization, so we're not just talking about companies for profit. We're talking about organizations that may be nonprofit. Does not matter if you have customers, and every company or organization has customers of some sort. Then your number one job is to tell your story to the consumer wherever they are, and preferably at the moment they are deciding to make a purchase. So this gets right to the point of talking about the purchase. But again, we'll get back to talking about all the things that you do prior to getting there. So I am going to go ahead and pull up the link. If you're interested in getting the book on Amazon, I did create a link to Amazon. It's a short link, so you could get the book or get the Kindle or Audible, whatever. I'll just leave this up for just a few minutes and then take it off, but it is in the description, and you can go check it out. But as I mentioned, jab, 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 right hook is a metaphor for a strategy of building trust and being able to give value to your customers over time. Think of it as a rhythm of communication used to build, again, like I said, the trust, the respect of your customers. The key to these opportunities to give, multiple give, right hook or ask, the key is to give value when you're giving something. There are many people that just give little tidbits when they give, trying to hold back and only really offer anything of value when their customer is ready to pay some money for it. But you really want these opportunities where you're giving to your customer, and I'll give some examples here in a minute. But when you're giving out to your customer, you want to be able to be meeting a need, or you want to be able to be able to basically give them some kind of benefit, and you want it to be something that's self-contained. And what I mean by that is something that they can actually use, a piece of knowledge, whether that's a digital, a PDF, an ebook, a video, a recording of a workshop, all those kind of things where they can actually use that, put that piece of content into action and see results from it. So that's the only way you're really going to build any equity with your customer. It's the only way you're going to be able to build trust, is to provide them things where they can actually use it. I think we've all seen marketing come our way where it's very obvious that we're not going to get anything of any real value until we buy something from them. And honestly, many of those type of marketers, when we actually put out the money, what we're getting from them is not all that valuable either. So we want to give them something they can actually use, right? So some examples would be, depending again on what kind of business you have and what type of customers you would have because of those businesses, but potentially articles, blog posts, various things like that, referencing those, sending those to your customers where it's relevant for the type of business that they're in. I already mentioned this, but another good example would be pre-recorded webinars, videos. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. Hey, maybe you have a YouTube channel with videos on there that you can refer them to via email or text service. Maybe you're using that. Maybe you're intertwining that with phone calls. But the point is you don't want your first time that you're reaching out to your potential customers or your customers to feel like a cold call. You want them to feel that you're genuinely trying to provide them something that they can use, something of value, and building that trust. So we're going to take away the link here, but go check that out. So again, Gary Vaynerchuck wrote this book. I think it was 2012, something like that. A lot of it has to do with, talking about, communicating with your customer where they are at. And a lot of that is social media. And Gary, uniquely, I think, is able to, when others are not, able to generate engagement, able to generate a buzz, if you will, behind what he's doing organically. We've talked about this multiple times in other live streams over the last now 39 days, but organic reach is at best, maybe for most of us, about 6%. So if you've got 100 people that like your Facebook page, we'll use Facebook as the example, then out of that 100, 6 people or so are seeing it, or whatever it would be. So but the reality is social media is here to stay. We do have to figure out, most of us, I believe, have to figure out how to use it, not necessarily to generate sales, but to remain relevant, to get our message out, and to be able to share with our customers and our potential customers what our value proposition is as a company, whatever you have, whether you're a consultant, teacher, coach, again, no matter what you do, whether it's business to business or business to consumer, social media is one of the key channels that you want to have a handle on. Email is another one. We talked about that at the beginning. It's a big reason why you would want to go get a free subscription to ConvertKit. With ConvertKit, you can manage up to 1,000 subscribers completely for free. Segment those subscribers based upon maybe interest. You can create landing pages, because one of the things that you want to be able to do is to have at some point in the journey of giving, and then at the point of the ask, you want to be able to provide a call to action. That call to action may be to, before the final, in this cycle, the final ask, you may want to invite them to a truly live webinar that would at the end have a component where you're asking, basically. And if it's not clear, yes, the ask is the point where you are asking them to purchase some kind of an offer from you, whether that's a product, a service, physical product, digital product, service of some sort. Again, at that point, you have continued to give them value. And the key, literally the key to all of this is, as you're building trust, if you're giving them, I'll just use the word content. If these pieces of content that you're giving them, whether it's physical, digital, whatever, if they're truly able to use them, if they truly can come to the conclusion that you're not holding anything back and that you're offering them something that's truly valuable, then your success rate when you actually ask, when you make an offer to your customers, your success rate is going to be considerably better than if you're always asking. If it's obvious that everything that you're doing is an attempt to get something from them, your clients, your customers, your potential clients, your potential customers need to know that you genuinely want to give them things of value, and so that they can use them. So I think that's really all we wanted to say about that tonight. The book is excellent, whether you want to read it or whether you want to listen to it, whether you want the physical book, Kindle, if you like reading on Kindle or Audible. One of the other things we have, speaking of Audible, one of the other things that we have is in the description, we have a link to Audible. So if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can go sign up for a trial, 30-day trial of Audible. If you don't know what Audible is, I'm going to assume that most of you do, but if you don't, it's basically, digital books, or I should say Audible or audio books. I'll get it out in a minute. Audio books. It used to be you could buy a CD or MP3, and now, although those are still available, Audible has really caught on, and, beyond the trial, then you get 1 credit, I think, 1 credit a month, and most any book is only 1 credit, so you can listen, and then maybe, if you're like me, you still want to get the physical book every once in a while. But it's really nice when you're driving, when you're just to have some downtime, to be able to listen to books. Knowledge is power. The more you read, if you're in business, if you're interacting with people in commerce in any way, one way or another, the more you read, the more equipped you're going to be. Learners are the most successful, those that are willing to learn at whatever level you happen to be at, from the sharpest tool in the shed, as they say, to the dullest with regards to, maybe our ability to learn. We all have some ability to learn. So learn at your own pace and your own level, but never stop learning. That would be my thought for the day. And we're going to come back again tomorrow night for day 40. We're really getting close, super close to halfway through. When I started this out, I wasn't really sure how this was all going to work out. But go listen to our playlist. I will pull that up real quick. Go, I say listen, also watch, obviously. Go watch our playlist on YouTube. This video will be put on there in just a few minutes, along with the other 38 episodes that we've already done. Go get caught up and come along with me for the rest of the 60 more nights. Wow. 61 technically. So let me know things that you'd like to talk about. I'd love to hear things that you've found that are that have helped you succeed in whatever it is that you do, things that have been hindrances, things that you would like to understand better. I have had comments from people, as we've been pushing and harping on an email list, people are like, how do I take advantage of that? And, people asking us about equipment that we use. We're always trying to improve the quality of the live stream. We all have a budget. It's not, don't have a endless flow of equipment coming in. So we do with what we have, but at the same time, do try to improve where we can. Audio, I would say, for those that are, interested, audio is very, very important. We do our best to check our audio every night. We actually had a night a few nights ago where the audio was really bad. As it turns out, the my voice was being, or the microphone that was being used was the onboard microphone on the computer, and it was really bad. So, but that's what we used to use all the time. I've said this before, but we used to use the video camera built into the laptop and the microphone built into the laptop. So start with that. If that's all you have and you don't have a budget to get anything else, start with that. Create that YouTube channel, start making content, start making videos, start creating a podcast and get that out there. Get things rolling so that you can begin to build on your confidence. I can tell you for sure that now, having gone live 39 nights straight, has improved considerably. I think my level of confidence anyway. But I think that's where we're going to end this tonight. I do appreciate everyone that has been a part of this one. Come back for day 49, and I'm going to black out and let you listen to a little bit of music as we end this. And also come join us on YouTube. All right, bye.